Moving in 2001 to Paris, Waits formed his own quartet and began playing live regularly. In fall 2006, he came to the U.S. He's now based in New York City and Colorado, and he has won more than 40 songwriting and performing awards. Please join me in welcoming.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'd like to say a big thank you to Matt for inviting me to come and play this evening. I feel as if I'm talking in a cave. And also, maybe I am. And this is Drew on the sound, everybody. Drew's on the sound. We got the guitar there? So I do spend a lot of time on the road. I play about 125 gigs most years, 150 gigs. And I'm based in New York City, and I often get home very late at night. And when I see the lights of New York City coming up out of the darkness at me when I'm driving on the New Jersey Turnpike or whatever it is, it's a beautiful sight. It's an amazing sight. And I have to do a sort of double take and say to myself, wow, do I really live there? It's like the seventh or the eighth wonder of the world. But the best thing about it is for me that I know that I'm nearly home and close to my loved ones. And I guess the point of this little song, which is a love song, is that we don't need the wonders of the world when we have love, because love, of course, is the greatest wonder of them all. So this is called I'm Amazed. I'm Amazed. I don't need the mountains, and I don't need the trees, and I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. And I don't need the treasures buried out at sea, and I don't need the mighty temples of antiquity. And I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred, nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night. They whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side and you are by mine. And out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. Better than the mountains, better than the trees, better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me, better than the treasures buried out at sea, better than the lovely gardens of antiquity. I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Yes, I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Thanks, everybody. The reason I have all these different guitars up here is to give the illusion that there's actually a trio playing here. So I'm going to run very fast between each of them, and you'll think it's three different people. Because you really must get your money's worth this evening. Oh yes, actually you didn't pay any money at all, did you? So you're certainly going to get your money's worth this evening. Here's a song about life on the road. I do about 120, 150 gigs on the road. Most years it can be a very rewarding way of life. It's a very challenging way of life. It's a very interesting way of life. And it's also designed for people who, like me, have what we used to call a restlessness of heart. Always looking for the next frontier to cross. This is called Prisoner of the Open Road. Prisoner of the Open Road. We have touched the misty mountains, whiter than the halo of a winter moon. We have heard the desert wanderers calling to their caravans from dune to dune. We have seen the eagles gliding, learned the secrets hiding in the sand and snow. And you know the path I'm riding, I was born to be the prisoner of the open road. We have slept beneath the starlight while the restless ocean whispered broken lullabies. I've woken to your heartbeat and a love as warm as morning glowing in your eyes. We have watched an empire tumble, climb the walls that crumble where the kings once strode. And you held me when I stumbled, blinded by the winding of the open road. We have tasted milk and honey, drunk the juice of bitter berries from a secret vine. I put on veils of mourning and walked barefoot on the marble of forgotten shrines. And I will long to feel you with me, think of how you kissed me when the wild winds blow. And I pray that you'll forgive me, but I'm born to be the prisoner of the open road. And I will dream that you're beside me, waiting there to guide me where the fire once glowed. But I'm bound to keep on riding, I will always be the prisoner of the open road. And you know the path I'm riding, you and I are prisoners of the open road. So I'm doing my own original songs this evening, that is songs that I wrote myself. A lady came up to me at the end of a gig the other night. I think she wanted to pay me a compliment, I think. She said, you know, listening to you play and sing makes me want to run and buy every single one of Gordon Lightfoot's CDs. So you won't be hearing any Gordon Lightfoot this evening, but this is another of my own songs. I wrote this about 25 years ago now, when I was about 3, give or take. I've been 28 for a long time, put it like that. This really is one of my oldest songs, and this has been recorded by several other artists. In fact, I've had about 40 of my songs recorded by other artists over the last few years. That's always a very high compliment to me when someone goes to the trouble and expense of recording something that I wrote. It makes me feel that I got something right for a change as a songwriter. But the highest compliment that I received in relation to this particular song was given to me by someone who's not a musician at all. It was my sister. We actually had some very sad news in my family about 5 years ago. My sister's husband, a lovely man, my brother-in-law in his early 40s, he died very suddenly. And my sister asked me to sing at his funeral, which I did. I was very glad to do that. It took place in the UK. And she asked me to sing this song that I'm about to sing for you now. And if you think about it, that's a pretty high compliment. I don't expect to receive a higher compliment than that. It meant a lot to me at the time, still does. And even though this is one of my oldest songs, it's about 25 years old, when I was singing it at the funeral, I suddenly realized that not until that moment had I understood what the song meant. It seemed that everybody else knew, but not me. And I think songwriting is a bit like that. You don't always know the full meaning of what you yourself create. It's a great mystery, which is how it should be. So this song's got better with age, put it like that, and I hope I've done the same. This is a song about rain. If you've had too much rain in your life, and I know it's been raining quite a bit down here in Houston, if you've had too much rain in your life, whether it's rain that falls on the window or rain that patters in your heart, this is for you. I'm here to tell you the rain will soon be gone. This is called After the Rains. The eagle shakes his feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes his home the wide blue sky after the rains are gone, and colors waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come after the rains are gone. We will walk in clearer lights after the rains are gone, and we will see with clearer sights after the rains are gone. And when the rain dries on our cheeks to leave us on our mountain peak, then we will hear a vision speak. After the rains are gone, far from the thunder's reach, we'll hear a different song, love calling each to each. And through the mist of joy and pain, the morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains to say we've walked in love's domain, his will be our song after the rains are gone. The eagle shakes her feathers dry after the rains are gone, makes her home the clear blue sky after the rains are gone, after the rains are gone. Oh, you're too kind. And I didn't pay anything for this lady to come and say that either. Somebody must have stolen my song. Well, anyway. Yes, it's true. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thank you. Come to every gig, please. So back to my name. Rupert. It's not Randy. It's not Richard. It's certainly not Rudolph. It's Rupert. One of those names that says, I'm not from around here. But that's okay, it kind of helps to keep me apart a little bit. Second name is Wates. So the whole thing reads, Rupert Wates. Well, what does Rupert wait for? Well, like so many of us, I wait for romance. I wait for success. But now that I played Friendswood Public Library, I'm still waiting for success. Only joking. This is a song about waiting. Waiting to begin. When I was a little boy, the world was like a Christmas toy, life a game that I was sure to win, and I'm still waiting to begin. Work hard and get ahead. In time all things will come, they said. That was only so much spin. I'm still waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I never crossed the starting line. The race has left me far behind. I'm no longer in my prime. Still the siren voices sing. They're calling from that promised land, stolen from me by some sleight of hand. Life's a shadow of the one that I planned, till I find the real thing. I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Days come and go, and all I really know is that I'm slowly getting older. No more time to waste if I'm to join the race. It's already halfway over. Let me do all that I intend. I'm gonna give all that I have to spend. The road is rushing towards the end, but I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. So I based this next song on one of my favourite films, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I'm sure we've all seen that beautiful 1969 film. Robert Redford, Paul Newman and Catherine Ross. For a long time before I came to America, which I did about 14 years ago, that was my image of America. I thought that all the men were as good looking as Paul Newman, and the landscape looked just like it did when the Wild Bunch ruled the West, which was about 120 years ago now, by the way, the turn of the last century. And then I came to America, and I realized that things have moved on since those days, and there are no Dunkin' Donuts in that film that I can see. But I recently purchased a small cabin in Colorado, in the mountains of Colorado. In addition to my place in New York, I've got a little cabin in Colorado. And I like to go there and look at the mountains. And of course, they are very much unchanged since the Wild Bunch rode roughshod over that part of the West. In fact, the mountains are very much unchanged since they were first created by the movement of the tectonic plates all those millions of years ago. So I can sort of go there and imagine that Butch and Sundance are still at large and they're about to walk into the saloon at any moment. So this is a little Old West romance which I put together loosely based on the story of the romance between the Sundance Kid and Etta Place. Remember having to film the beautiful Catherine Ross. So this is called Sundance and Etta, or True Love Never Dies. He was a gunslinger long past his prime. His temper was fierce, it turned on a dime. But he could shoot as the eagle can fly, and she fell in love with his pale blue eyes. Some called her a lady early some called her a tramp. She left a good home to follow the camp. The life of an outlaw was all that she knew when she fell in love with his pale eyes of blue. In a room at the back of the Last Chance Saloon, with a rag soaked in whiskey, she dresses his wounds. Tenderly cleaning his blood from her hands, she tells him she'd do it for no other man. Each day the lawmen were tightening their net, chasing his shadow and dogging his steps. Gunned down in a shootout or molding in jail, he knew what was coming at the end of the trail. She awakes in the dark, hearing a sound at the door. It's found them at last, death at the hands of the law. But it's only a dream, only a trick of the night. They'll soon spread their wings, and like two condors in flight, be gone in the morning light. They take a train, then a boat, then a train. South of the border they carried their flame. Far from the lawman they'll make a new life. Far from the lawman he made her his wife. He robs the payroll and sometimes the banks. She holds their horses and covers their flanks. In old San Vicente they made their last stand. They found them lying there still holding on. Some say they saw them in Paris last fall, and in Monte Carlo they were dressed for the ball. He shooting straight as the eagle can fly, she still in love with eyes blue as the sky. Sundance and Edda, true love never dies. Thanks, everybody. So here's another song based on a true story, but I adhered more literally to the truth in the case of this story. The story took place in 1932 during the days of the Dust Bowl, not far from here in Houston. There were dust clouds, tornadoes, hurricanes on a daily basis, blotting out the sun and the sky for days at a time. Must have been a terrifying sight to see those dust clouds 10 miles high, bearing down on your clapboard house. People thought the world was ending. And as if that wasn't bad enough, it was also the height of the Great Financial Depression. It was a kind of double whammy. The financial depression, the mother of all depressions, which began in 1929 with the crash on Wall Street. By 1932, in certain parts of America, there was nothing to eat but tumbleweed and thistles. But they got through it. They were tough people, the pioneers stock, and with the hope of some federal programs and a lot of willpower, they pulled themselves through it and built the foundations of modern American society. And when I read this particular story, which is a true story, it struck me how much we owe to the women of that period. You really just kept the show on the road, literally. So this is a sort of hymn of thanks to the women, the mothers, the sisters, the daughters, the wives, for saving our asses, if you'll forgive my French, so many times throughout history. This is my song based on a true story. It concerns a poor family who made their way across America on foot during the days of the Dust Bowl. This is my song based on that story. This is called Days of Mercy. Days of Mercy. Daddy lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants. But the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone. And she was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned. We headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. Daddy worked on a lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes and took the baby on her hip and told us all to follow close. And we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. When I fainted in the heat of the Oklahoma sun, my mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in a migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. And though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had. Bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the baby started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we finally reached L.A. Beside a lake in Lincoln Park, a man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When are you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walked 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away. He said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a bag of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Thanks, everybody. Going to swap to yet another guitar. This is one of my oldest guitars. These are all Loudon guitars made in Belfast, if you're interested. And this is a new tuning I've been using, well-known tuning amongst guitarists, called Dad Gad. made famous by Davy Graham and some of the other members of the British folk movement in the 1960s. So as an artist, or as a musician, I see my job, very strange job as it is, to spread a little beauty in the world, a little beauty and a little healing for troubled souls. And I decided to write a little fairy tale about a girl who lived on a desert island where no one ever came to visit her. And there was no Facebook and no social media. What a wonderful place, eh? She decided she was going to make her desert island a beautiful place. So this is called The Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors. But as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden. But the sun beats down and it withered the rose, for she'd chosen a place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none ever read what she wrote in the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, and though the rose that she planted died in her hand, for 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. Thanks, everybody. So this is my baritone guitar, in case you're interested. It's not really technically a baritone guitar, but I've just tuned it very low. It's really nice sort of slack feeling to it, and I've been doing a lot of songs with this guitar and this particular tuning. In fact, maybe it's time to mention my CDs, because you got in free. There's always a price to pay, isn't there? So my CDs are $15 each or $20 for two. My latest CD is called Full Circle. It's just me and the guitar and a lot of different tunings, including this particular guitar tuning. The story of this song was that some friends of mine who are also a folk and Americana, traveling duo, actually. They travel the country in their camper van. They asked me to contribute a song to a CD they're putting together, which the theme of which is going to be the highways of America. We musicians know all about the highways of America. I do about 50 hours driving some weeks, not every week, but between 30 and 50 hours driving every single week. So I do know the highways of America. And I decided to write a kind of love song to one of my favorite highways, which I'm sorry to say is not the 10 or the 45, much as I love those highways, intimately as I know them. One of my favorite highways is number 1 in California. So let me take you to highway number 1 on the coast of California. This is called California 1. I'm heading out on Highway 1, heading out if you'll come with me, just you and me. Down the coast she rolls and winds, while the California sunlight shines on the sea. I can feel a mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste the sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. Waves are breaking in the sun, I'm going where the endless rivers run. Oh, how they run on California 1. While we are standing still, time just advances over those blue, blue hills. Life surely dances. So much we lose and spill, wasting our chances to be free. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste the sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. I'm heading out on Highway 1, heading out if you'll only come. And we've just begun on California 1. On California 1. Thanks so much, everybody. I want to say a big thank you to Drew for running the sound this evening. Thanks, Drew. So this is another little song based on this new tuning of mine. Oops, no, I'll try a different capo. So I'm always looking for titles for new CDs and themes for new CDs, because I think that CDs ought to be more than just a collection of songs. They ought to have a theme and a governing sound. So I'm always looking for ideas for what that possible theme could be. The other day I came across a book. I was reading, it's a book that I don't read very often. I ought to read it more often probably than I do. It's called the Bible. I was reading the Bible the other day, and in the Bible, as you probably know, there are lots of mini books. It's a book full of books. And one of the books within the Bible is called Lamentations. And well, frankly, right now, as we look at the world, it's difficult not to lament at times, but we have to keep positive. In the meantime, I decided that would be the title of my next CD. It doesn't exist yet, so you've got every excuse not to buy it. But it's going to be called Lamentations. So this is the title song of my upcoming CD, Lamentations. Once I was lovely, once I was young, once I rejoiced in the light of the sun. Once the pure waters flowed straight to my well. Now I sing lamentations to heaven and hell. The keys of the kingdom were thrown at my feet. A table was laden with all I could eat. Now I beg them to feed me through the bars of a cell, and I sing the lamentations to heaven or hell. Lord, if you're listening from so far away, to all the dim voices that whisper and pray, show us your mercy, tell us all shall be well, while we sing the lamentations from heaven or hell. Once I was golden, once I was young, and I danced in the light of the moon and the sun. Now I've grown weary of the sound of the bell, and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell. And I sing lamentations to heaven and hell. I'd like to let you into a secret, which is that I'm about to become a father for the first time in my life. My wife is expecting a baby boy in about a month's time. So obviously that's given a lot of focus to my thoughts and my writing, my songwriting. And well, I'm at a fairly advanced age. I'm not really 28, as you probably have guessed. I'm a little older than that. And my mother in England, she's in her 80s, getting very frail and elderly. And it's not certain that she will meet her newest grandson. We're hoping that she will, but it's not certain. And what is certain is that the time will come when I have to explain to my son-to-be that here on earth we are all just passing, meeting and passing. And we have to get used to the idea that we will have to say goodbye to those we love someday. And that's a hard concept to convey to anybody, let alone someone that you love. And the image that came into my mind was that of a merry-go-round in a carnival. So this is the newest song that I will play for you this evening. It's just a couple of weeks old. Wrote it in the car on the way down here. And this is called the Carnival Waltz. All the pretty horses go round and round, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And so many people are standing in line, waiting to take a ride. Some may be happy, and some are hurting inside. As long as the wheel keeps turning, we'll watch them all go by. Some sail on, and some are waving goodbye. For every face that is passing from us, another will always come round. And all we've lost someday will surely be found. Round and around they go, round and around they go, round and around they go. All the pretty horses go up and down, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. For every friend that we've lost on the way, somewhere another is found, and we are all riding the merry-go-round. Round and around we go, round and around we go, round and around we go. They do say that babies can hear music when they are in the womb, and they respond to it, and it makes them feel good and gives them a lovely introduction to life. And I'm hoping that's the case. I've been singing to my wife's stomach a lot lately. And this is the song that I've been singing to my little son-to-be. This is something that I would like him to learn. That one of the lessons that I've learned anyway in life is that the material things are wonderful and all very well, but it's the spiritual things that really count. It's the spirit that draws us together, love that we have for each other, imagination, understanding, empathy, compassion, all that kind of stuff is what makes life worth living. So that's the lesson that I would like my son to learn. And this is called You Shall Have the World. They may come to you with the promises, they may offer you fool's gold, they may lead you to the marketplace where precious jewels are bought and sold. I don't believe the lies they tell you, for their hearts are mean and cold. I put no faith in what they sell you, or when they bargain for your soul. Then when they've stolen from you all you've ever owned, you will find a truer pearl. Take the hand of the one you love, and you shall have the world. Fix not your eye then on the morning sun, that quickly turns to rain. Grieve not for the passing time, or the silver moon that wanes. Reap the harvest that they bring you, and every loss will be your gain. Remember these, the words I sing you, when nothing else of me remains. Or when time has stolen from you all you've ever owned, you will find a truer pearl. take the hand of the one you love, and you shall have the world. Look in the eyes of the one you love, and you shall have the world. And you shall have the world. And you shall have the world. So I'm often looking for stories to give me inspiration for songs, and I discovered a story, a true story. It took place in the late 1940s. In those days, there was a passenger train that used to run from the Pacific coast all the way to Milwaukee. It was called the Old Milwaukee. When I heard that name, I knew there was a song there, the Old Milwaukee. So I read a story about a lady who used to lie awake at night listening for the sound of the train. I think as Paul Simon has said, we all love the sound of a train in the distance. We don't hear it that often, but it's still there at times. You lie awake at night and you hear the train passing, the sound of the wheels churning and the whistle blowing. It's a very romantic and nostalgic kind of sound. And this lady became kind of obsessed with the sound of the train, and she began to evolve a romantic fantasy life involving herself and the men that worked on the train, the handsome conductor and the man who worked in the mailroom and the driver. She was obviously a lonely lady, so I decided to write this song for her. It's a kind of a train song. Could I get just a bit more guitar, a little bit more guitar, just thanks so much. This is called Miss Burgoyne and the Old Milwaukee. Miss Burgoyne and the Old Milwaukee. Now the time lies heavy on my hands. I often walk beside the place where the old Milwaukee Railroad used to pass. The track's all torn up long ago. A few planks are left from the old depot, scattered among the weeds and the prairie grass. And in my mind a figure still sits on a platform in gathering dusk, in the clothes they made before the First World War, waiting alone for the train to arrive in a fury of steam and whistle blows, the conductor holding open the carriage door. The conductor holding open the carriage door. Her name was Edith behind her back, to her face she was Miss Burgoyne, and she lived with her parents in a modest bungalow, teaching piano to the neighborhood kids, 50 cents an hour to listen and smile as we stumbled through our scales and arpeggios. And whether it was her air of reserve, or her spinster's clothes, or her foreign name, or her college degree class in 1928, but whenever we ran out of games to play, we could always laugh at Miss Burgoyne and some of her stranger personality traits. Some of her stranger personality traits. It was in the summer of 35, as I recall, when the change began, and Edith first boarded the Milwaukee train. A 10-minute ride to the next stop on the line, and there she'd descend, and come a rain or shine, she'd walk 5 miles home again. 3 times a week, each week for a year, she rode the train alone, but why? None of us could ever understand. But I heard it said by others who were there, the conductor was a handsome man. He was a brown-eyed and very handsome man. So the years flew by and Edith's parents died, and she sold up and moved away to Iowa. The rumor went with a married man, but others said she died alone in bitterness and poverty on a barren farm with intractable land. But in my mind a figure still sits on a platform in gathering dusk, in the clothes they made before the First World War, waiting around for the train to arrive in a fury of steam and whistle blows, and the conductor holding open the carriage door. The conductor holding open the carriage door. So this is a sad ballad or a bad salad, depending on your point of view. This is a relatively new song, and this is called Don't Leave Me Now, and it's dedicated not to the people who walk up halfway through your show, as they sometimes do, but to a loved one who, for whatever reason, may be on the point of departure. Don't leave me now. Don't leave me now. When your face is as pale as the dawn, and the colors of daylight become you better than any you've worn. Don't leave me now. When time is a blade that can kill, don't leave me now when you know how much I love you still. Don't leave me here in a sad and dirty cafe. Take me back to the evening we met, when we found so much to say. Tell me again how we climbed to the top of the hill, with the valley below and the time of our lives all ahead of us still. Open your eyes, and I'll show you what you've longed to see. I will stand by your side as the man that I always promised to be. Give me your hands, and with fingers as warm as the day, I will banish the tears from your eyes, and I'll conjure the darkness away. And then, when the tree is full grown from the seed that we've sown, with our hearts and our bones, we will lie in its shade, you and me, and the love that we made. If the rain should fall through the branches above, we'll remember how hard it rained the day we first fell in love. Open your eyes, and I'll show you what you've longed to see. I will stand by your side as the man that I always wanted to be. Give me your hand, and with fingers as warm as the day, I will banish the tears from your eye, and I'll conjure the darkness away. Don't leave me now. We could find our way home, I swear. I will fix what is broken inside, and I will carry us there. Don't leave me now. All I can do to save us, I will. Don't leave me now when you know how much I love you still. Don't leave me now and I'll show you how much I love you still. Don't leave me now. Tell me you love me still. Hello, everybody. Appreciate it. Got time for just a couple more songs. I want to say thanks everybody for being here. Come out and support live music whenever you can. My CDs are for sale. They're $15 each or $20 for two. I'd like to mention that those CDs do have a nutritional value, because if you buy one, I will eat. I don't want to put, any pressure on you or anything, but before I became a musician, I used to weigh 200 pounds, and then I became a musician and I began to lose weight very rapidly. So here's a song which I wrote for some friends of mine who were going through a very hard time. This is a song called Prayer. So why don't we take a moment and think about people we know and love who might be in need of a prayer tonight. There are always too many of them. This is called Prayer, and it goes out for everybody who doesn't have a prayer tonight. Here's to you, and here's to me, here's to all we've ever seen, to all the common all that's been. Here's to all we ever shared, to our fathers and to our heirs, to all people everywhere, when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, to the crooked and to the straight, to all who die too soon or were born too late. Here's to our enemies and here's to our friends, to the river that never ends. Here's to the sinners and here's to the born again. Here's to the black and here's to the white, to the left and to the right. Here's to the evening and here's to the morning light, coming into sight. To the rich and to the poor, here's to the sea and here's to the shore. Here's to all people everywhere, when they haven't got a prayer, 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 when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the cop and here's to the priest, to the west and to the east. Here's to all they bring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb. Here's to the beast in the heart of man. Here's to the house on rock and the house on sand. Here's to the heart and to the head, to the living and to the dead. Here's to the joy and to the tears we've shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who've ever raised their glass, anytime we asked. To the moon and to the sun, to all we lost and all we've won. Here's to all people everywhere, when you haven't got a prayer, 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 when you haven't got a prayer. enough, people. Well, it's been a great pleasure to play for you this evening. I'd like you to come back to support live music whenever you can, because musicians need you now more than ever before. If we don't support live music, it's going to die. So please bear that in mind and come out and support it whenever you can. I'm sure they've got some other wonderful performers performing here at Friendswood Library. I'm sure that Matt can tell you all about that. Thanks again to Drew for running the sound. Thanks, Drew. So here's a song of farewell, a temporary farewell, I hope. This is a relatively new song. I'm trying out some new songs for you this evening, and I've made loads of mistakes, but nobody knows because you haven't heard them before. This is a song called Farewell and Adieu. Farewell and adieu to you who I've loved with all of my heart. Farewell and adieu to you, my beautiful friends. And I'll dream of your eyes and hope that I will see them again. Until I do, I bid you farewell and adieu. Adios, amigos, remember me when evenings of song. Remember these while shadows grow tall. Oh, how we danced with never a glance at the passing of time, and how the sands have run through. I bid you farewell and adieu. Farewell to you, farewell to me, farewell to who we used to be. I'll miss you all when evening falls. Still I must go when the lonely road calls. Here's to the days and here's to the nights. Here's to it all as we turn out the lights. Whatever will be, please drink to me long after I'm gone. Here's looking at you. Adios, amigo, so true. Farewell and adieu to you who I've loved with all of my heart. Farewell and adieu to you, my beautiful friends. And I'll dream of your eyes and hope that I will see them again. Until I do, I bid you farewell and adieu. Oh, it's hard to do. I bid you farewell and adieu. Hey, guess you're going to get a bonus track. Having said that I wouldn't do any cover songs this evening, we're going to do one. It's not by Gordon Lightfoot, though. This is written by Leo Kottke. It's called The Fisherman. You know, Leo Kotke's work. He mostly plays 12-string, so I'm going to try and make this 6-string sound like a 12-string. After all, you didn't pay anything to get in this evening. This is called The Fisherman by Leo Kottke. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. I've actually, thank you. I'd actually broken a nail, so before I started to play that, it's just what I wanted to happen. So thanks again to Drew for running the sound, everybody. Thank you. Well, would you like one more, as you've been such a lovely audience? Well, okay, I'm going to give you another cover song because you've been such lovely people. Would you like a cover song or an original song? It's up to you. You're my favourite audience. I'll just have to sand my nail down just a little bit. Just what you want is to break a nail halfway doing a Leo Gopke tune. All right, so could we have a little bit less bass on the guitar, Drew? Thanks. Please be safe on the road home tonight. Get home safely, whether you're going near or far. And we will meet again. Follow me on Facebook or go to my music website, which is rupertwatesmusic.com, rupertwatesmusic.com. I always have at least 120 gigs in my book at any time, so you know where I'm going to be at least 18 months from now. If you'd like to be there, it'd be great to see you again. Thanks for being here, and thanks again to Matt for organising the evening. Thanks, Matt. So here's hoping that we meet again further down the road. This is called Further Down the Road. When thorny darkness comes to chew my bones, and when I stumble on the rocks and stones, I see a fire ahead that guides me home, further down the road. And as I walk towards the blaze of light that calls me like a siren day and night, it's always at the very edge of sight, and further down the road, further down the road, gleams the promise of the happiness we're owed. Further down the road, love surely waits there where the fire still glows. When time is closed on all we've done and said, when all that's left of me is dust instead, think only that I've gone some way ahead, further down the road. And further down the road gleams the promise of the happiness we're owed. Further down the road, love surely waits there where the fire still glows. When thorny darkness comes to chew your bones, and when you're lost and scared and all alone, and I'll light a fire ahead to guide you home, further down the road, a little further down the road. Thanks, folks. Be safe on the way home.